Okay, you ready to make a video with me? Okay, let's go. Go down there. Come on, go down there. Okay, get in there. Get in there. Okay, so this is my garden for the year. It's the best one I've ever had. So I want to share it with you. So far, it's the best one I've ever had. Let's see. There's some red lettuce. I've got 4 of those, and there's some cilantro that's growing nicely. I bought these as starters because I really just didn't have the time or energy to plant them from scratch. But the starters are doing really well. This is some fennels and dill. 8 little dills. And now this is some chard from last year, and I might eat some of that tonight. And this is the new chard. Looks good, huh? Rainbow chard, different colors. And I've got a bunch of kale. This one got munched some, but I've been picking off the bugs, and I think that pretty soon that at least the cabbage moss will be calmed down a lot in the spring. You know, the little butterflies fly around like freaking crazy and lay a lot of eggs, but I haven't seen very many of them lately. So I've been picking off the green worms that hatch from that. And these are colored greens. That looks nice, huh? I got a little bit of a late start this year, but it's all good. We're all right. I got my ass in gear and got it going pretty quick in the last week or so. Mustard greens, those from last year, the big ones, and new mustard greens. And this is some red lettuce, so reddish dark lettuce, and more curly kale, some lettuce. That's a big old lettuce from last year. Dandelion, it just grew wild, a couple of those. And broccoli over there, nice broccolis. And various kale. Look at that, that's a nice little kale. And today, oh, and I planted some lima beans along the fence here that I hope will come up. And yesterday I planted some cucumbers along the fence that I bought, made up, different kinds of cucumbers. Those are Space Master cucumbers, they're big ones. And these are Slicer cucumbers, also I think pretty big cucumbers. And they'll be like all over this fence, all over. You know, when I had to put up the fence because the groundhogs were eating the food, I was like, oh damn, I was pissed off, you know, I was like, ugh. And now that I've got the fence so that I can grow food on it, I'm all happy. So, you know, this is what I mean about hardships become blessings. They always do. So next time the shit hits the fan, go ahead and swear a few times, get pissed off and throw something, and then stop. And remember that it's going to turn into a blessing, so it won't be so bad. And so today, this is what I planted. I planted this basil, Thai basil, and this red basil, cute little red basils, and then peppers, more peppers. I planted some yesterday and then some today. There's a California Wonder and a Golden McCorney, Joe's Long Cayenne. Joe's Long Cayenne. Sweet chocolate peppers. Man, am I gonna be hot. I'm gonna be hot this year, y'all. So peppers up the yin yang. Black eggplant and white eggplant. I've got 3 blacks, a white, and a lilac eggplant. The blacks are your typical ones that you see at the store, you know. And these others are Japanese kind of eggplants. And then there's some poblano pepper and some red Marconi slicer something pepper. And these are just perennials that supposedly are good for keeping the bugs away. And over here is the herb bed. I planted some thyme there because the last time ran out of time. There's some rosemary, a big plant of rosemary, and you know, I've wanted to get the time to be able to harvest the herbs and to do my... Ooh, I'm gonna sneeze. I've wanted to get the time to be able to just get out here and harvest the herbs and breathe and be barefooted in the garden, because I've always known, and I'm telling you, it's without a doubt, and you know this, that getting out here and getting your shirt off, as I've been all day, and just getting the sunshine and breathing the air and listening to the birds and getting your hands dirty and connecting to the earth. If you see gurus that aren't doing that, I don't know. I think it's pretty important. Okay, so there's some oregano. That's oregano, alright. Stronger than shit. I'm telling you, if you eat oregano, oh Lord, it'll kill what's ailing you. Peppermint. Now, yesterday I harvested. Oh, and then check it out. There's a great big, incredible dandelion under here. This peppermint just takes over. Look at that. Look at that big old dandelion. I'm going to make a salad out of that tonight, I think. You got to watch it. There might be like little snakes in here, or even possibly a big one. But usually they're just little garden snakes. Yesterday, I took a bunch of this peppermint and put it in this jar here. And I've been guzzling this today. So, peppermint helps to freshen the breath, and it's antimicrobial. And it tastes good too. Peppermint tea in the sun, 2 days in the sun. Somebody said, if you don't want to have to pee so much, then sip it slow. Not today. We're guzzling. So that's the upper part of the garden. Now I'm going to take you to the lower part that I'm so very proud of. You see, that used to just be all trees. Trees as high as that pine, some of them, nearing that. And 3 years ago when I moved in here, Carlos and I, a roommate, started cutting down the trees so that I could have sunshine on the garden in the morning as soon as the sun came over the ridge up there. And we weren't getting any sunshine on this grass here before until like at least noon, at least 11:30, noon, 1 o'clock. And so I cut down a whole bunch of trees, and I was like, well, we can grow stuff on the lower level too. And we did the first year. We got a little bit of food out of it. But then last year I just was, for whatever reason, not able to grow anything down here. But this last winter I got this guy to come down here and bring up all these wood chips. Brought up all these wood chips about a foot deep to put across the garden. And I was wondering earlier if that would be such a good idea. It might eventually, of course it will, because it'll decompose and it'll enrich the soil, and the soil is very clay soil, you know, and so what it needs is some not nitrogen, carbon, I believe, and that's what the roughage, the sticks do. Sticks, sawdust, and all of that alkalizes. And then what I did with the tomatoes, and you can tell I don't know all that much about that. Even though I've been gardening kind of on and off for a long time, I've been mostly focusing on my health. But what I did was I planted big stuff down here. Tomatoes. So I took these hardwood sticks that I bought at Lowe's, and then I connected them at the top and created a cross brace that I tied in the middle. And this is the most recent one. The other ones don't all have that. I had to kind of learn from experimenting as usual. But I've got a bunch of tomatoes because they don't need to be protected like up there by the fence. They need to get lifted and held up and somewhat protected from the animals. But down here they'll be fine, especially with these cages around them that I created. The cages hold up the tomatoes because they're heavy, and I got all kinds. I like to experiment with different things, as you know, and that's how I learn all these things that I teach you. I'm just constantly, well, let's try it. And I highly recommend that you do that in your life because it enables you to progress. And yes, you'll fail. Yes, you'll fail, but you'll also succeed. And I'll try and keep you updated on things like the homemade urinal has turned out to be a total success. The wet food grinder is awesome. I don't use it as much as I thought I would, but I'll probably use it more and more the healthier I get, because it's really an awesome machine because it crushes everything totally. So lots of those. And then down here we have other big plants. That is a watermelon with seeds. Yes, natural, normal. People have gotten spoiled and stupid, and so they think that it's best to consume foods without seeds that have been hybridized to not have seeds. Duh! I always try and get heirlooms, which means that the seeds are in their original form. They haven't been hybridized at all, or especially GMO'd, genetically modified. So this one is a zucchini, and these things will be huge. Like these things will be like all over the place with massive amounts of squash and melons and zucchini and tomatoes coming out my ass. Ears. Let's see what kind this one is. This one is a, oh, this one's, you can't hardly see, shit. Oh well, it's a tomato. Why would I put that back? I don't even know what it is. Most of the time, they're pre-imprinted. Like, see this one? Pre-imprinted with a barcode. Dark green zucchini. Now, one of the people that was selling the plants at the farmer's market put them on wooden sticks. They're wooden popsicle sticks. I like that better than the plastic. You know that whenever I can find something that works just as adequately, yellow squash, yellow crookneck, just as adequately as plastic, and so it can decompose just like these sticks if it gets in there, and it just looks more natural. And you know, in this world, I would like to say, and I'm absolutely positive, that more than 90% of the things that are made with plastic in this world, in 50 or 100 years, won't be made with plastic anymore. It's an abuse. You see, whenever people discover things, they always misuse them. They misuse and abuse them. And oil is one of those. It's a perfect example. Let's just make every freaking thing out of plastic. And let's just burn oil like freaking crazy, because we're all insane, da-da-da-da. And you know, I know all these things because I've been insane. I've been like that. You got shit on you. Get that off of there. But I'm getting more and more sane. The deal is that some people are 80% insane and 20% sane. And other people are 80% sane and 20% insane. Everyone is insane to one degree or another. But I believe that the more we hang out in this, that the more it brings us back to sanity and less insanity. So thanks for joining me.